Hello everyone, it's me Awan, and today we're doing the 22nd Cyprus Mathematical Olympiad. This is for the 5th and 6th grade, and thank you for all the support in the last paper we did. I really appreciate all of it. So please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more so I can make more videos. And please keep up the support. I love it, and I will make more videos for you guys. So now what we're going to do is the next question basically. A school with 328 students is going on a field trip. If each bus can carry 46 students, and what is the smallest number of buses needed to carry the students? Normally you would do 328 divided by 46, but the problem is you can only divide it once you carry all of the 32 here, and that doesn't exactly help. So you just find the nearest multiple. Here, if you need some, like, after you get some, you need some getting used to after you're doing this, you basically estimate which multiple of 46 is good enough to fit inside, and for that's 322. We definitely know that since 322 plus 6 is 328, 6 is smaller than 46, which means the division isn't like whole. There is a remainder left, which means, and since that this is a field trip and schools can't exactly leave their children out on a field trip, that means we need an extra bus for the 6 students, which means that the 7 here plus another bus is 8, which means there are 8 buses needed in order to carry all the students. Now, so that means the answer is delta. Which of the following numbers is between 6.28 and 6.282? The comma here is the decimal point. Now this is obvious, it's 6.281. Just for a short explanation, you can, the difference is 0.002, so you can halve that to get 0.001 and add that with 6.28 to get 6.281. But though, since we all know counting, it's easy, and the answer is delta. On the 2 scales there are spherical marbles, a pentagon, and weights of 20 grams. If the scales are in balance, then how many grams correspond to the pentagon? Okay. Now when we look at the first scale, there's 2 circles and 2 weights of 20 grams, and then there is 7 circles. Now the rule in all equations and formulas is if you treat the LHS and the RHS equally the same, then the equation will still be equal. What I mean is that the LHS here is the left hand side, and the RHS here is the right hand side. So when what it means by treated equally is that here's an example. Now we realize there are 2 circles. If we take away those 2 circles, we have to take away the 2 circles on the other side to make it still equal. Otherwise, if we didn't take them away, then it would be unequal. But if we do take those 2 circles away, that'll be equal. Now since we know that's equal, we know there's 40 grams left, since 20 plus 20 is 40, and there are 5 circles. So 5 circles are equal to 40 grams. Now basically we can just divide 40 by 5 to get a circle as 8 grams. So that's convenient. Now basically it's the same thing here. They're equal, and this is 8 grams. If we take away 8 grams from here, and we take away 8 grams from here to get 12 grams, that means the pentagon is equal to 12 grams. Thus, the pentagon is 12 grams. So basically, just 20 minus 8, you get 12. So that means the pentagon is 12 grams, like it asks right here. So the answer is gamma. In the figure below, the area of the shaded part of the square is 8 centimeters squared. What is the length of the side of the square? Okay, so there's this whole area is 8 centimeters square. So you can 8 centimeters square. You can notice that this is half of the area of the whole square, which means if you do 8 times 2, you get 16, which means the area of the whole square is 16. Now the formula for the area of a square is a squared, where a is the side of a square. So now we have to do the inverse of that to find the side. The inverse of squaring is rooting, so root of 16 is 4. Now that means the side of a square is 4. Easy peasy. It's 4 centimeters, it's gamma. Now, 5 athletes, A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5 take part in a race. A1 is in the lead and A3 is in the middle. If A4 is ahead of A2 and A5 is exactly behind A3, then who's in the second place? Now, we have A1 here, and we have A3 here. So that means at least 3 places here, here, and here. 3 places. Now, it says if A4 is ahead of 2 and A5 is exactly behind A3. Now A5 is exactly behind A3, which means it's immediate, which means we only have 2 places left. And since it says A4 is ahead of A2, that means A4 has to be here and A2 has to be here. Meaning that step by step, you can get the all of the places like this. Now it asks who's in second place, and that's A4. So thus the answer is delta. A 3-digit number is a multiple of 5 and 8. If the sum of its digits is 3, then what is the product of its digits? Now if you have a multiple of 5 and it's even, then it's always going to end in 0. Which means that, and then it says what's the products of its digits. So basically, it means that here, that since it's a multiple of 8, it's obviously divisible by 2, so it's even. So that means it'll end in 0. And now when we're talking about the products of the digits, one of the digits is obviously 0. When you multiply anything by 0, you get 0. So you normally say alpha is the answer, 0. But anyways, if you want to know what the number is, it's 120. Since when it says if the sum of its digits is 3, there are only 2 combinations you can make, 120 or 210. 210 is not divisible by 8, but 120 is, since 120 divided by 8 is 15. Thus again, it's alpha, which is 0. The chart below shows the times of 5 swimmers in a swimming race. Which swimmer finished the race first? Now basically, if you finish the race first, that means you did in the least amount of time. Here, basically, the bar has to be the smallest to finish the fastest. It also has the values down there, which is very helpful. And the values are supposed to look like they're in the number line, which is also helpful, which means we can correlate with the 22 directly, and it lines up with K2, which also has the smallest bar, which means that we can directly say that Vita K2 is the answer. 8 cubes are put together to form the shape T, as shown in the image below. The complete outside of the shape is painted blue, and then the cubes are separated. How many of the cubes have exactly 4 blue faces? Now, basically, we have to look at the T shape. Okay, one moment. That was chaotic. Okay, so this cube, and this cube, they have 5 sides open, which means that you can say that you can ignore those. And this cube only has 3 sides open, so you can ignore that too. Now when we look at the rest of the cubes, here there's 4 sides open. Here there is also 4 sides open. Here there is also 4 sides open. Here there is also 4 sides open. And then there are no cubes left, which means there's only 4 cubes with 4 open sides. Therefore, the answer is gamma 4. The sum of 5 consecutive even numbers is 320. What is the sum of the digits of the smallest of the 5 numbers? Now, when we're talking about these numbers, basically consecutive numbers is basically like numbers which go in order in a number line normally. So x plus 1, x plus 1, x plus 2, and so on. However, in this case, they're even, which means it goes in the even pattern, which means x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6. And all the numbers here are even. So basically, these are the 5 numbers it's talking about. We're starting with x all the way to x plus 8. This is an algebraic form because you don't know what the number is yet. But we do know the sum of all of these numbers. So we can add them together. x plus 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 x is 5x. Since there are 5 numbers, you can just do x times 5. And then you do 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8, which is 20. And that's equal to 320. Now we're going to do the thing of using the LHS and RHS. Now if we take away 20 from the LHS, we take away 20 from the RHS, which means 5x is equal to 300. Now they're both divisible by 5. So we divide 5x by 5 to get x, and we divide 300 by 5 to get 60. Therefore, x is 60. Another way to look at it is basically if you're taking 20 to the other side. Whenever you take a number with its sign to the other side, you take its sign with it, and the sign will become the inverse of the sign it originally was. So 5x is equal to 300 minus 20. 5x is equal to 300. X is equal to 300 divided by 5. X is 60. It's basically the same thing, but with like more writing. But either way works. Now since we know x is 60, it says what is the sum of the digits of the smallest of the 5 numbers, which means we have the smallest, which is x, which also means that we can find the sum of it directly, since anything plus 0 is the same thing, the same number. It's going to be 6 again. So 6 plus 0 is 6, and therefore the answer is alpha. Each one of the figures below have parts which are shaded. Which one of them is a different fraction shaded than the rest? Now here, for me, I prefer to count the unshaded parts than the shaded parts, because the shaded parts are normally in decimal sometimes in this case. So here we go. So first for alpha, we have one whole square, and then a pair of triangles that can make another square, and then a pair of triangles which can make another square. So 3 unshaded squares in total. Now we have just 4 unshaded squares. Here's here, and here we have one hole, two triangles which can make a circle, and all these 3 components can make another square. So that's 3, and this can make 3 with one whole square, this big component with another large component, and these 2 as well. Now for the last one, it's basically delta, but find the mirror image of it, and then find the water image of it, and that's eta. So basically we get the same thing, 3. Now the reason why I can still count on shaded parts is because if all the shaded parts are the same, and the number of squares is also the same, then that means all of the shaded values will be the same, except for the one that's not, which is beta in this case, which means the answer is beta. Sorry. So A rectangle is divided into 4 parts, as shown in the figure below. What is the area of the shaded part? Now here you have to use factors. So basically, we have 21 centimeters squared and we have 28 centimeters squared. And basically, factors are numbers which are divisible by a certain number. So we have to find a common factor between 28 and 21. Okay, so pause the video and think what common factor is there between 28 and 21. It doesn't have to be the highest, it doesn't have to be the lowest, just think of one. You found it? Well done if you did. The answer is 7. So we can have 7 here. That means the side of the length for both of these rectangles is 7, because the area of a rectangle is length times breadth. So the factors have to be the length and the breadth. The length and the breadth have to be the factors. So we can put 3 here and we can put 4 here. So since 7 times 4 is 28 and 7 times 3 is 21, which means the width or breadth of the shaded rectangle is 3. Now we have 36 centimeters, which has a width or breadth of 4. Now we do 36 divided by 4 is 9, which means the length of the shaded rectangle is 9. So 3 times 9 is 27 centimeters squared, which means the answer is Vita. Now, Salome thinks of a number, multiplies it by 2, adds 2, divides by 2, and then subtracts by 2. Her answer is 2. What was her original number? It may look a bit hard, but it's actually really easy because you know inverse things. You know inverse operations. The inverse is basically the opposite of something. So now we have to do the opposite of everything Salome did backwards. So if her answer was 2, and then lastly she subtracted 2. So you add 2 because the inverse of subtraction is addition. We get 4. Then she divided. Then we multiply by 2 because she divided by 2. Then we minus 2 since she added 2. Then we divide by 2 since she multiplied it by 2. And we get 3. Everything was backwards, and then we get the answer as gamma, 3. If you want to check it, you can do 3. 3 times 2, 6, plus 2, 8, divided by 2, 4, minus 2, and it's 2. Now question number 13. An amount of 463 euro will be shared amongst 8 men, 9 women, and 10 children, so that each woman gets 3 euro less than each man and 2 euro more than each child. How much will each child get? Now let's say the base value X is the price each woman will get. So basically, a woman gets 3 euros less than each man and 2 euros more than each child. So there's 9 women, so 9x plus 8x plus 2. Oh, sorry, x plus 3, because a man gets 3 more than a woman, because it's like the inverse of a woman gets 3 less than a man. We do the inverse of what it says there. A child will get 2 less than a woman. So that's basic, and the sum is 463. The coefficients show how many people of a person is. So there are 8 men, 9 women, and 10 children. Now, how much will each child get? First, we do the multiplication. So 8x plus 24 plus 9x plus 10x minus 20 is equal to 463. Now we add the like terms, which are basically the terms with the same part. So we add all of the numbers with the same all of the values with the same variable and all of the numbers together. So basically 8x plus 9x plus 10x is equal to 27x. Now 24 minus 20 is 4. Since we have a negative 20 and a positive 24, we do 24 minus 20, which is 4. So 27x plus 4 is equal to 463. Now we minus 4 on both sides, so 463 minus 4 is 459. Now we can divide. 459 divided by 27. So if I do 27 times 2, no, it's too big, which means that you can just take a 1, and here I'm doing the long division method, which means I write out everything. I don't just, it'll show a long thing. So we do 50 minus 7, 8, and then take away the 3, 2, 1. So you get 18 is the difference. You take down the 9, so 189. And then you can see that since 7 times 3 is 29, you can try 27 times 3. That's 89, too small. So if you can find another way, since we know 7 times 7 is 49, it also ends in 9, so we can try that. It works, which means 7 is there, and 189 minus 189 is 0, which means the answer, x, is 17. Which means that a woman gets 17 euro, but it says how much will each child get. If a child gets 2 less than a woman, it's basically 17 minus 2, which is 15, which means that a child will get 15 euro. Now, which is Vita. Daniel has 3 apples and 4 oranges. What is the least number of fruits that Daniel must buy so that 2/3 of all his fruits are apples? 5. Because now, if Daniel gets 5 apples, then we get 3 plus 5 is 8. Now, when the thing about 1/3 times 2, it's 2/3. And let's just say the 1/3 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. It works. And also, if we add 4 plus 8, we have 12. And then 2/3 of 12 is 8. And 1/3 of 12 is 4. And also, it's the smallest number. So you should always try first with the smallest number. If it works, then it's definitely your answer. If it says biggest, or any number which is a synonym to any word which is a synonym to that, then you have to try the biggest option. Only if it's a multi-option question, of course. Otherwise, you have to do working out. So therefore, the answer is alpha 5. Now, a barrel holds 200 liters of wine. At the moment, only X liters are missing out of 200. If we remove another 50 liters, then the barrel will be full at its 3/5. How many are the X liters that are missing? Now, X liters are missing out of 200, and we remove another 50 liters. So it's basically 200 minus X minus 50. And that's going to be the 3/5 of the whole barrel. Now, we know the 3/5 of 200. 3/5 of 200 is 120. So there will be 120 liters full. Now, basically, if we rewinding it, we add 50 to both sides. So 120 plus 50 is 170. And therefore, we get 200 minus X is equal to 170, which means X is obviously 30. So it's 30. There's 30 liters I'm missing, and that's X liters. So that's Vita. Another way you could do it, though, is actually, wait, let me think. Oh, there isn't exactly another way. Wait. So let's just say we do 200 minus x minus 50 is equal to 3/5, right? And this is upon 100. 200. And basically that is equal to 120 upon 200. Well, you can just directly find it by just, doing the same value. I think the method with just this is better, and I recommend this method. But if you have any other methods, please comment down below. I would love to know what methods that you guys have. Now, question number 16. In the figure below, what is the sum of the angles angle alpha plus angle beta plus angle delta plus angle gamma plus angle delta? Now you see that there are two 50-degree angles, and there are alpha, beta, gamma, and delta all the way there. Now if you focus on it, it's like the question we had on the last paper. It's two triangles merged together to form a star, a 6-cornered star. If you look at these triangles, like, let me just outline one for you. It looks scalene if you turn your head around to the left, which isosceles. Which means that if it's isosceles, alpha and gamma are equal, and that's the same for the other one. So beta and delta are equal. So 180 minus 50 is equal to 130. 130 divided by 2 is 65. It'll be the same on the other side because it's also 50. Now 65 times 4, it's 260. So basically, since we don't know any other information other than that, I encourage you to just look at the figure, because the figure must show something. Otherwise, if it gives you like pure plain facts, only follow that, because again, the figure doesn't always show the truth. Like, if you see a square, it doesn't actually have to be a square. Normally, like some figures say, the figures are not to scale, meaning that they're not actually what they look like. So, but here we don't have any exact information. It doesn't say that, so we can say that the answer is gamma 260 degrees. Of the students of class A in a school, half of the students go to school on foot, a third of them are using a bike, and 1/9 goes by bus, and the remaining 4 students go with their parents' car. How many students does class A have? Now if we add a half with a third and that 1/9, the LCM is 18. So that means 9 upon 18 plus 6 upon 18 plus 2 upon 18. We got the LCM is 18 because it's the lowest common multiple if you check it. And then we multiply the numerator by the same thing you multiply the denominator to get 18. So yes, now we add all of them together. Just simply add the numerators and you get 17 upon 18. You don't have to change the denominators if all of them are the same. This is a numerator and this is the denominator. So ND, I'll write N upon D. If you want to remember, it's there. Now, that means that 1 minus 17 upon 18 is 1 upon 18, obviously. Which means that 1 upon 18 is the remaining 4 students that go with their parents' car. So, because since we added a half of the children go to school on foot, a third of the children go by bus, and a ninth go by bus, and a third use a bike. and we add them all together to get the amount of people who did all of that, and minus that shows the amount of people who just go in their parents' car. Which means if 118 is 4 students, a smart trick to do is, since any fraction multiplied by its denominator, if the numerator is 1, is equal to a whole. Because if you do 1 upon 18 times 18, that's 18 upon 18. And if the numerator and denominator are the same, that's obviously 1. So basically, we can do 18 times 4, and you get 72, which means there's 70 students that Class A has. There's 72 students that Class A has, and the answer is Vita. Now, if alpha upon 11 is equal to 84 upon 231 is equal to 144 upon Vita, what is the sum of alpha plus Vita? This is basically equivalent fractions, which means they're all equal. You just multiply the numerator and denominator by the same thing. Now when we look at all of these, okay, first 11 is equal to 231. If you remember the trick, since anything multiplied by 11, you just put the first digit of what you're multiplying by in the here, and the last digit of what you're multiplying by here, and put the sum of them here. So 231, that's here. So basically these two make up 21, which means 11 times 21 is 231. And this is multiplied by 21. So that means this also has to be multiplied by 21, and we have to do inverse because the product has already been given. So 84 divided by 21, that's 4, which means that A is 4, and that's our first letter. And now we have to find out B. So 4, and then there's 144. We can't do directly 84 to 144, because if we did 144 divided by 84, there'd be a huge remainder. It's not always like this. You can multiply to different places. Like if you say 1/3 is equal to 2/6, you can still say that you multiply by 2 again and you get 4/12s. Or you can do 1/3, but here in this case sometimes it doesn't work. So here basically what we have to do is just start from the beginning, from the 4, and then go from 4 all the way to multiply to 144. So 144 divided by 4 is 36, which means it's a whole multiplication of 36. Now since we know the trick for multiplying 11 with 36, we put the first digit and the last digit. 3 plus 6 is 9, so we get the answer is 396, which means Vita is 396. Now we have to do alpha plus beta. So 396 plus 4 is 400, which means eta is the answer. Question number 19. In the subtraction below, each letter represents a different digit. What is the sum of the digits alpha, beta, gamma, and delta? Now, if you look at the 3 and the 8, okay, here. Now, if you look at the 3 and the 8, the 3 is on top and it's smaller, which means that you have to borrow a 1 from the beta, and you get 5 alpha. Then you cancel 1 out, and then when you cancel the 1 out, it would be basically something minus 0 is equal to 9, and anything minus 0 is the same thing, which means it's 9 plus 1, which is 10, but we can't write 10, which means it has to be 0. So we got 0 here. And that means we also took the 1 from the gamma there. So basically, first we need to work out what is the, so 6 plus 6 is 12, which means that if we add 1, you get 13, and we say there's a 3 there, and we borrowed a 1 from the 6, which means there would be 5 minus 4, 1. So we have 1 plus 3 plus 0 plus 5. You get 9 as the answer to the sum, which means the answer is delta 9. Now question number 20. Alpha, beta, and gamma are different positive integers. If alpha times alpha is beta, and gamma times gamma is beta, and beta is less than 100, then what must the number beta be? This means that beta is a squared, and beta is also gamma cubed. So this number is a square number and a cube number. You can do trial and error, but the one that's most famously known for having these two properties is 64, which is eta. You can check the others. 4 is a square number but not a cube number. 8 is a cube number but not a square number. 16 is a square number but not a cube number. 24 is not a cube number or a square number either, which means you can neglect that fully. So that means eta is the answer to question number 20. 64, basically. Now, 5 different integers chosen amongst the numbers from 1 to 30 add up to 30. What is the greatest possible value of the largest of these 5 numbers? We definitely know that numbers can add up, the digit numbers can add up higher than 10, but we can still have less than 10 sometimes. So we're just gonna go for 20. It's all amongst the numbers still. Now, if we actually just do 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3, 6 plus 4 is 10, and 20 plus 10 is 30. And if you realize that if you go any further, you can't have a sum less than that, since 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, they're the 4 smallest numbers, which means they give the smallest sum possible. So that means that the largest of these 5, the largest possible number that you can get is 20, which is delta. It also is definitely correct because it's the biggest option out of all of them, and of course, if it says biggest, go for the biggest option first. If it says smallest, go for the smallest option first to check it. Now, in the figure below, how many circles will there be in row 2021? Now, if you look at all of these rows, so there's 1 circle in this row, 3 circles in this row, 5 circles in this row, and 7 circles in this row. You can notice it's the odd numbers, and the formula for odd numbers is 2n plus 1, where n is basically the place of the odd number. Like if it's the first, then n is 1. It's like that. And basically we're using this formula like we use formulas for patterns to find the answer to 2021. You can check it with the other ones first. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So there is a little bit of a flaw here. Now if we put 1, we get the answer for the next row. And anyways, 2 times 0 is nothing, plus 1 is 1, which means that it starts with row 0 for our pattern here. However, we go 2n minus 1, we get row 1 directly. So 2 times 2, 1 minus 1, 3. 2 times 1, 2 minus 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4 minus 1, 3. It works. So basically, what we can do is substitute n as 2021. 2021 times 2 is 4042. 4042 minus 1 is 4041. So that means that we got 4041 circles, which means delta is the answer. A bus starts at 8:10 from stop A and follows a route through the city, returning again to stop A. There are another 8 intermediate bus stops. To reach from one stop to another takes 9 minutes, and at each stop the bus remains there for 1 minute. What time will the bus arrive again at stop A? So basically there are 8 intermediate bus stops. So that means the amount of space of them is always -1. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So 8 bus stops and 7 spaces. So from one stop to another it takes 9 minutes. So 7 times 9 is 63. And at each stop the bus remains there for 1 minute. So 8 times 1 is 8. So what time will the bus arrive again at stop A? Which means now basically what you do here, 63 plus 8 is 71. And now when we're going back to stop A, okay, let's just say that we go all the way. Wait, wait. There's just one minor problem. When we started at no, there's no problem. I was saying there was a problem because at stop A you don't take any time. When you go back, wait, but then there is one minor problem. It'll be 7 times 1, and then 7 times 1 is 7 definitely. 63 plus 7 is 70. Now we're just going to say here that it goes back and it's all interconnected, so it just goes back again. So that means 70 plus 7 is 77. And basically since we get 77, what we can check is that from 8:10, so 60 hours are there. And then you get 9 and then add the remaining 17, but no, that doesn't work. The thing we have to do here is that we have to make the bus go all the way back to A. So after we do that, so basically again, yes, we have 7 bus stops. Yeah, we have 7 spaces, and we have 7 bus stops where we pause at. And then when we're coming back, there's only exactly 6 bus stops which we pause at because we already counted the one where we paused at before. So 6 times 9. 6 times 1 is 6. And there'll still be the 7 spaces, so 7 times 9 is 63. 63 plus 6 is 129. Now 129 plus 70 is 99, and then you give 199. Now that means it would take okay, and 199 is 3 hours, but that means that's also wrong because that it takes too long then, because it's 3 hours. Okay, let's just start again with a new mind. So now normally this is what happens to people, to some children and also people like me. I even got a bit confused here. So let's try and start again with a fresh mind. So we have 8 intermediate bus stops. Takes 9 minutes from one stop to the other, and at each bus stop the bus remains there for 1 minute. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there we are. So there's 7 space and 8 bus stops. So, but though actually you'd only stop at 7 places because you start at the beginning, but then at the end when you go back, it's all interconnected. We're just going to say that it's all interconnected. So 8 bus stops. Wait, it was 7. Ah, wait. So then it is still 7 bus stops because we don't stop at the end. We don't just stop for 1 minute at the end. So 7 times 7. 7 times 9 is 63. And 7 times 1 is 7. Now 63 plus 7 is 70. So 70 minutes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay guys, I'm gonna leave it to you for this question. And in the next video, I'm going to explain the actual answer because I got confused myself in this one. So you guys dash in the comments below what the answer to question number 23 is, and we can just quickly finish question number 24 and 25. Now, in how many ways can 3 different numbers be selected from the set 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 such that the sum of these 3 numbers is even? Now basically, when we're talking about this, we always know odd plus an odd number plus an odd number is an even number, and an even number plus an even number is an even number. However, if we have odd plus even and vice versa, which means in the other way around, then you get a number which is odd. So basically, what we have to do is that we can get 2 odd numbers, add them together, and then add it with an even number first. So we have 13, 15, 14, that's 1, 13, 15, 16, and 13, 15, 18. So that's 3. Then we got 5, 6, 7. And then with 13, 17, 8, 9, 10. Wait, did I miscount? Oh, wait, 1. Wait, oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. So there are 9 possibilities so far. And anyways, if we do even plus even plus even, then that makes 10 possibilities. Therefore, the answer is eta 10. Now, question number 25. Some people met on a house and had a handshake with everyone who was there. If the total number of handshakes they exchanged were 28, how many people met in the house? But let's say there were 3 people. One exchanged a handshake with 2, and 1 exchanged a handshake with 3, and 2 exchanged a handshake with 3. So you have 2 and you have 1. Now let's say there were 4 people. 1 with 2, 1 with 3, and 1 with 4. 2 with 3, 2 with 4, and 3 with 4. You see how it reduces, but first you do 4 minus 1, 3. So the way we can do this is that if we're doing trial and error, we can just say 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 5 is 18, plus 4 is 22, plus 3 is 25, plus 2 is 27, plus 1 is 28. Therefore, the answer is Vita 8. Okay, guys, we finished the whole paper. And thank you for watching. Remember again, if you want to comment down below, tell the solution for question number 23, and in the next video we will cover that. Please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell for more videos, and I'll see you with the next paper on the next video. Goodbye and thank you.